welcome to a new session on English language skills. Do you know that language can be learned creatively? Today's session we are going to deal with a very unique technique which was popularized and made available to us by Tony Buzan, called mind mapping. Mind mapping is a technique and a tool in which we tend to spare some time to think before we write or speak. Instead of blanking out, the best thing to do is take a deep breath, think about the keywords associated with the topic, and assimilate all the ideas and form a paragraph or a beautiful speech. Here is an example that we will deal with today. Let us take a topic called global warming. So when a topic is given to you to speak or write, the first thing you could do is think about the keywords or the key ideas. So the key ideas that come to our mind could be pollution. The reason behind global warming happens to be pollution. And under pollution, we actually can have some more branches like air pollution, water pollution, sound pollution, soil pollution, light pollution, etc. Erosion, carbon emission, the ozone layer depletion, deforestation, etc. The careless use of resources is one of the major reasons. And on the other hand, we also have another category of ideas called the solutions. So the solutions for decreasing the global warming could be afforestation, using eco-friendly methods of survival, saving energy, using electric vehicles, carpooling, etc. So mind mapping, there are three steps of mind mapping process to speak or write. The first step that Buzan talks about is ideating and creating a web kind of a picture, a mental picture, or the picture can be done on a paper, on a piece of paper. So all the ideas are written down, and while the ideas are written, the step 2 could be take each idea and create a sentence. So while we create sentence, we have around 10 ideas, so we have 10 sentences ready to create a successful paragraph. In case you want to create a summary, you can have a beautiful beginning, and then each idea can be taken as a paragraph and elaborated upon. So that you avoid redundancy and a boring structure, the best thing you could do is to insert something called as transition words or cohesive devices or connectors or linkers. So these are the synonyms of the same word. These are very simple words which add value to your write-up or speech. Adding value, I would like to say, is trying to ornament or trying to create a proper flow of ideas from one idea to another idea. Cohesive devices and transition words help you to create a beautiful structure. So there are a few cohesive devices that I can tell you, or you could Google search for more of them. The popular cohesive devices or transition words that we could use are however, gradually, perhaps, well, rather, nevertheless, initially, firstly, on one hand, in fact, perhaps, nevertheless. So these words not only add value but also help us to create a kind of signposts where the listeners have an idea about what the speaker or the writer is going to talk about next. For example, I am giving a presentation and it is lasting for a longer duration of time, and then the audience wants me to end, and I can actually look at the audience and find their pulse, and I can conclude my presentation by saying finally, and then they have a sigh of relief. So these cohesive devices act as signposts that will help you to flow from one idea to another idea. Usually what happens is, in the classroom setup, there is a beautiful ideation that happens within the groups or the classroom or classmates. So that kind of idea generation is called as brainstorming. So idea generation there involves a whole lot of ideas from different kinds of people. But then ultimately the speaker might be one or many. When you as an individual are asked to speak on a particular topic, idea generation has to take place at the individual level. And while you are an individual who is trying to find ideas, mind mapping is the process. It's a simple technique to pause for a while, think of the ideas, create sentences, and then have a beautiful flow of sentences effortlessly. Let us do a recall session of what we learned today. The 3-step process of mind mapping happens to be: first, ideation; second, creating sentences; third, inserting the cohesive devices wherever necessary, and organizing your ideas so that you have a beautiful speech or a write-up ready. Thank you.